welcome to my channel. Today's video I am going to talk about toddler tantrums and how to handle it. Toddlers are age category of 1 to 3-year-old kids. At this age, throwing a big tantrum is very common. It's because kids at this age are very difficult to understand what we are telling to them. As same, they can't explain to us what they need because of the language problem. Since they have not developed their language to the whole extent, they can't explain why they are crying or what they want. So this is the main reason for toddler tantrum. So how to handle this? This is a big question in many people's mind, because when we go to a party and a toddler throws a very big tantrum in front of the whole guests, it is very disappointing for us. But friends, do not get disappointed or do not get angry, because at this age, throwing a tantrum is very common and you have to handle it in a cool attitude. I am going to give you some useful tips today on how to handle your toddler tantrum without much ease. Okay friends, let's move on to the video. The first tip which I am going to give you is, do not concentrate much on your toddler tantrum. Yes, when your kid is banging his head or when he is shouting and crying, at least before 1 year old, please do not concentrate on this, because when you concentrate on them and try to fetch what they want, the kids will learn this beautiful attitude that when they cry for something, the mom is going to give it to them. So this will become a habit in the later on stage. So before 1 year old itself, you can correct this very easily. Even my daughter was like this only at this 1 year old. So what she does is, when she wants something, she immediately bangs her head on the wall or on the floor and tries to throw a big tantrum. What we do is, both myself and my husband, we just sit and watch TV like we are not concentrating on her for some time. But if that cry grows much bigger, then we go and grab her. But otherwise, if she is just throwing a small tantrum, we just don't bother about that and we just don't concentrate on her. So what she does is, she will cry for a minute or so and then she will cool down herself and she will forget that and move on to the next thing. So this is the first tip. Do not show much concentration on what they are throwing a tantrum. So when you throw a big concentration on that, immediately the kids will learn that, okay, my mom and dad is going to give me whatever I want if I cry, and they will build up this habit in the future too. So this is the first tip. The second tip is for the toddlers who are very adamant, like my second child. Yes, each child is very different, friends. My first child is a very easy child, and so if I follow that first tip itself, she will cool down very easily. But my second child is not like that. If she wants something, she will cry so much that I have to definitely go and console her. So for this kind of kids, what we have to do is, try to distract them. Yes, distract is one single word, but this is a very key word for all parents who have toddlers. Why? It's because when we distract the kids easily forget that what they are crying and they will start concentrating on something else. This is a very easy trick for all mothers and fathers, but we forget to use this. Instead, what we do is, we shout at the kid, we get angry, we get tense, and similarly on seeing us, the kid also shouts much more. So that is like a mirror. Yes, toddlers are like mirror. They see what we are doing, how we are reacting to a situation. If you shout and show your tension and anger, the kid will do the same thing. They are like our mirror. But instead, if you stay cool and try to distract the child, then the child will become easily distracted. This is one key tip every parent of a toddler should remember, friends. So how to distract? The next tip is, try to play with your toddler. Yes, distraction can be done by playing. So what I do is, when my kid cries in my home, I immediately go for a bubble wand and start blowing bubbles, because she loves bubbles. If your kid loves ball, you can throw ball and play with them. Or if your kid loves any other thing like a ball or a bat or a bubble or a balloon, you can distract with them. So you can either distract by giving a different toy, or you can distract by giving a playtime. So this is how I handle my toddler tantrum in my home. Suppose if the same toddler cries outside, like in your friend's house or in a store, then how to handle that? So here comes the next tip. When your toddler is crying in front of a big crowd or in your friend's house, how to handle that? So what you can do is always have some treats or a different toy in your bag. This is very handy for every mother. I learnt it in a very hard way because once I went to the temple and my child was crying for something which I didn't understand. I was trying to give her whatever I have in my bag, but she was not at all cooling down. Immediately one of my friends came and gave her a chocolate. She got that chocolate and she shut her mouth. Yes, totally she was off. She was very quiet. That's why I learned, okay, I should have some kind of treat in my bag, because whenever the child cries or throw a big tantrum in front of a whole big crowd, then you can do this too. You can distract the child by offering a sweet or a biscuit, cookie or a candy. So for time being, that will definitely work out, friends. And also toddlers do not remember the tantrum for a very long time. Once they get a candy or a treat from the mother, immediately they will forget that. So this is how I distract my child. So this is the third tip. Distract by offering some other thing. The next tip is, if your toddler is crying in the store asking for a specific toy, how you can handle that toddler? This is very embarrassing situation, right? Because you have to buy that toy because your kid is crying. But this is a very bad habit you're going to build in your child. Because once you buy the toy which your toddler is asking, this is going to build up like a habit, and even when they grow older, they will do the same thing. They will grow up to a very adamant child asking for the same thing what they want, and you as a parent will not have any other go and other than buying it. So what you have to do is correct this behavior in the childhood itself. What you can do instead is have a usual toy which your child is playing always in the home, or a different toy which your toddler likes. Have this in your bag. Whenever your toddler cries in the store asking for that specific toy, instead offer this toy and say, now you play with this, later I will buy that for you. So instead of shouting before the whole crowd and making a big tense situation, you can offer the another toy which you have in your bag. So generally toddlers will not accept it immediately, but if you kind of build this as a habit, slowly they will adapt to it, because they will know definitely mom is not going to buy this toy for me when I cry. So instead of crying, let me at least play with the toy which my mom gave. So this is one different tip which you can try to handle your toddler when he is crying at the store asking for something. Okay friends, I think today's video would have been very useful for many parents out there. Usually toddlers throw tantrum because of three reasons. One is either they will be very sleepy or very hungry or very tired. Please do not push your toddler to these three different situations, because when they are very tired or very sleepy, definitely they are going to cry and they will not understand anything and they will not get distracted by whatsoever you do. So please take care of your toddler's hunger, correctly feed them, follow their schedule, because following a schedule in the toddler stage is very important. If you correctly put them to bed and if you correctly feed them properly, definitely they will not throw a tantrum. Instead, if you push their nap time for a half an hour or 1 hour later, definitely your toddler is going to throw up a tantrum. So friends, please take care of these three things and also follow their tips which I said, which will be very useful because these are very practical and I have followed in my life. Okay friends, if you feel this video useful, do share to your friends too and do subscribe my channel, because I will be posting more useful tips like this. Okay friends, bye.